We'll show right there. All right, cool. I don't know if we're gonna get all the actual people that came in from the other channel, but you know, actually, Eric is gonna. He's not joining us on this one. He had to head home, but we're gonna keep on going on this one. I was just gonna stop right here, but you know what? Let's just get it going.
Did he take a ceviche?
I don't think he took his ceviche,
Yeah,
man.
he got it.
Oh, he did take. Didn't
Hell
he?
yeah.
He took it to. Yeah, man, kind of stinks because I really wanted to bring him on this one, but we can get the party going, man, and talk about what we want to talk about. So, on this chat, we did talk about, kind of brought it up on Eric's channel as well, and what I.
Don't you have an introduction that you usually do when you come in?
Oh, Billy Yoder, right off the bat. Are you Cambodian?
No, I'm not. Hey, here you come, Eric. Say bye, brother. Take care, brother.
Later, bro.
Eric, take care of yourself.
Hey, enjoy that ceviche. You want
Sorry,
some more?
guys. I gotta head out. I got some stuff going on. What's that? Oh, you don't want that either?
No.
Take it, man.
Yeah, take all that good stuff. So the conversation that we wanted to talk about right here, man, was basically, this is something that I've always wanted to talk about, man. Was customer brought parts. Like, what do you do in that instance? If you own a business, or let's say you're at the dealership too, if a customer brings their own parts, what do you do?
Man, do the dealership even take that in? No,
I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
That-
He just left.
Yeah,
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric, we gotta call.
Do you think I'm able to bring my parts in? You working at the dealership at Nissan and
Yeah,
you know,
I
bring
kind
it
of
on
wanted
for
to
me?
ask that question right there. If customer bought parts, and then another thing too is, I get customers that come by and they say, "Hey, I went to
Love
the
from
auto,
Canada.
I
Hey,
went
my
to-
wife's Canadian.
I went to auto parts place, and they diagnosed the vehicle there at AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, or Riley's, whatever, and
Diagnosed at AutoZone O'Reilly. You mean pull code?
yeah, so I'm gonna get I'm
This person's still asking about the 171. Dude.
Yeah.
You want to help them?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit, Daniel. We'll get into that right now. But one thing that
Nick over here checking it
one
out.
thing that I want to talk about is, sometimes I get customers that they say, "Hey, I got this diagnosed. Is let's just say, like Daniel, is a PO 171, and AutoZone says, "Hey, I need you to change out the mass airflow sensor, the O2 sensor, or so on, this and that." What do you do in that instance? Like, how do you take that? Do you do the job, or do you? What's your question? I want to direct it towards San right here. I was going to direct it towards Eric, but he's not here. But I'm going to direct it towards San. San, what do you do if a customer comes by and let's just start off with, "Hey, I got this. I got my own part. I bought it from Amazon for $3, and I want you to change it out." What's gonna be your answer? And tell me why too.
Okay, so my answer would be this: being an independent shop, I would say I would change it out, but I have to tell you some things that I won't cover, and that's my labor. My labor warranty would not be covered. If I replace the part, my labor would not be covered under any type of warranty. If you're okay with it, sign here to approve me doing the repair on customer supply parts. If you agree, I'll put it on for you. And that's the most important thing, is that make sure you get their signature, to get their approval to do the work. You know what I mean?
But let's get to this point right here, son. Let's say it's an expensive job. Let's say it's let's just go drastic on here. You get to the point where this guy comes by and he's like, "Hey, the engine is the issue. I want you to change out the engine," or a high pressure fuel pump, something that's expensive, and they end up spending $1,000, and that didn't fix up the issue. What are you gonna do there? You gotta understand, if let's just say it does work out, you are the superhero. You are, man of the hour. You helped them out. You saved them money. This, and that. But if it doesn't fix it, you did something wrong. They're like, well, AutoZone told me that this is what it was, and now for them it's kind of black. It's just real simple. To them, they told them that that's what it is, and you switched it out. It didn't fix up the problem. What happens if now they start asking you, hey, well, did you put it on there right? Are you sure you did it right? They start questioning you because at the end of the day, they're gonna spend, 500, 600, $800,000 and they didn't get it fixed up, so they're gonna start pointing the finger at you. What do you do at that instance? What do you do at that moment?
At that moment, it all depends on how you write up your work order. Being in the automotive industry, you go through everything already. Your experience is pretty much your knowledge. You know how to handle customer. Just like there's a common issue with certain vehicles, certain problems, you'll run into the same situation with customers. They will react somewhat the same. So if they bring their own engine in and you have to replace it, you know what you're gonna run into depending on the type of vehicle. You have to let them be aware of what could happen, and everything has to be documented. If everything is not documented, then it could be argumentative. You know what I mean? They can argue with you on it.
Yeah, but let's say that you do document stuff, and
Okay.
then after that they just take it. They're just like, hey, you know what? This guy he took $1,000 away from me. He did something wrong, and then they start putting a bad name on you on Google or Yelp or this and that, and they tell their friends and family, this guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just not doing it
Hey,
right.
I gotta give a shout out to my baby mama, my wifey. Kelly's on right now. She's waving. What's up?
But getting to that point, like that's the reason. Honest to God, to be quite honest, man. If someone comes up to me and they say, "Hey, I got it diagnosed," or "I brought this part from X," and I'm gonna tell you the story why I don't do customer brought parts. So there was a time where back in the day I was just trying to make a dollar, man, because I had these other shops around me that I would compete versus them. So I would just take whatever job I could take. The thing is, whenever when I was going to do the repair, I was trying to get a Moog part. I think it was a ball joint, and it was about 80, $100 for that ball joint, and the customer didn't like the price, so he went on Amazon, got the part, or eBay, one of those two, got the part. I put it on there, torqued everything to specs. I'm a torque Nazi when it comes down to that. Torqued everything to spec, and then I think it was like 2 months later, he gives me a call, and he's yelling at me, and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, dude, the tire fell off. So I'm freaking out. I get into my car and I rush over there.
You shouldn't freak out.
No, but that's the thing. When you have someone, that was the beginning of my business. I'm just saying, like,
So yep, exactly.
yeah.
It was the inexperience.
Well, yeah. So I freaked out and I was like, holy smokes, this guy's tire fell off. What's going on? This and that. As I get to the location, the ball joint's cracked in half, and he's just yelling at me, giving, like, the cops are there and all that. Kids are crying. The moms, trying to make sure that they're okay and so on. And I'm freaking out, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's just yelling at me the whole time. And I said, look, dude, let's get it to my shop, and then we'll get you squared away. So finally, when I'm driving, I'm trying to, figure out what's going on, what's happening, and then I remember, hey, this guy brought his own parts. Let me just ask him, where he bought it from, and he told me, literally, he bought it on eBay. I think it was two for like $6. He bought the cheapest ball joints, man.
So you're telling me you didn't ask him that question when he brought the part into you?
Dude, like I said, when you're in business, you start learning, you start growing. Sometimes it's just kind of it's a learning process.
I totally agree with you.
when-
I've been there and I've seen that happen a lot. So anybody that's tuning in that's starting up, listen to his experience. Remember, this is just his beginning stage of automotive. He didn't know what question to ask. He is happy to have somebody bring a vehicle in to repair a vehicle and stuff like that, and all of a sudden that part failed. If he was experienced enough, and this wasn't the beginning stage, he would know how to react. So those who just starting out, make sure you actually learn from Oz era, Oz mistake, because I know I went through it. You know what I mean? They're always trying to put the blame on those who touch their cars. But if you tell them exactly how it is, like, hey, I just want to let you know that you can bring your car part in. I don't care if it's from the salvage yard or whatnot. If it's from a dollar store, I don't care. I'll put it in, and I will charge you the same labor rate I would put a new part in if I bought the part. So that labor rate doesn't change. And if you're okay with it, sign right here, because I'm not going to be held responsible if that part failed. So I know you learned from it. Did you learn from it?
Oh my God.
But I don't think you should. To me, it's all, to each their own. If you don't want to ever replace to work on a person vehicle that brought their own part in, that's just you. But to me, I don't care. If you want to bring your part in, you want to bring an engine in, you want to bring a transmission in, at the end of the day, just know that my labor will not be warranted. Especially when you drove your car for 2 months without an issue and then called me out of nowhere saying, hey, my wheels fell off. Sir, it's your fault. No, the hell is not my fault. You drove for 2 months without it not failing. Okay? Just remember that.
But man, but another teacher told me this, and please, other people that own their own shops out there, tell me if this is right. Are you gonna go to a steakhouse or whatever and bring your own, steak or filet mignon or whatever?
There's some places like that. You bring your own part.
But I'm saying it's not.
Food, we fry it or
but
cook it.
you gotta understand that's a part of your money too, right there, man. That's whenever you buy a part, you're gonna do your markup. That's a part of everything. That's every business,
But that's not.
But
that's just a percentage of your business.
Yeah, that is a percentage, but you gotta understand that's with every company, man. Walmart, different food companies. Because imagine you own a food company too. Imagine they said, hey, I like your noodles, but I want to bring my own noodles and bring it here. I just want you to fry them, but I want you to give me at a fraction of the price because I'm bringing my noodles. And what are you gonna say? Heck to the no, dude. It's gonna be the same thing. So in the end of the day, man, it's gonna be CYA, man. You gotta cover your own rear end when it comes down to that. You gotta cover your own rear end in financial ways, and as well, you're gonna cover it on making sure that you get the right appropriate parts as well. Because I'm telling you one thing, like I said, when it comes down to it, if you get it right, you're gonna be their best friend. You're gonna be the man of the hour. But if something goes on, because let's put it this way, imagine that family right there was on the freeway, going 80 miles an hour, and their tire fell off right there. I would probably be in court. Something would happen, man. It would have been bad. But if I kept, if back in the day, I just said no, I'm gonna buy the parts and I'm gonna be supplying that. I would make sure that wouldn't be the issue.
Yeah, no, hey, that's a valid point.
That wouldn't be the issue right there.
That is a valid point.
And I don't know if other people out there they've ever ran into that. What do y'all think? My end is just no. I'm sorry, and I have a big sign on there that says that.
Talking about your big sign. There's a question that says, are repair orders legal contracts? And if so, can you give us samples of your work orders?
So when we do work orders right there, it's just kind of like you said, you're stating what you're doing on there. And hopefully if let's just say it does go into court or whatever, they get to see what you changed out and what's going on. So when I do my work orders, I'm real specific, man. I put exactly what's
specific.
Yeah, you gotta be real specific on what you did, what you touched, what kind of codes it had before and after it left, and what you're doing. You really have to be real thorough when it comes down to that, man, because we are in the land of suing, And if something doesn't come right, they'll come. Have you ever heard those jokes when someone said, "Hey, after you replace my tail light, you know something happened." In an automotive world, we always go a little bit exaggerated. We'll say, "Oh, after you replace my tail light, my wife got pregnant," or something like that. We make jokes around that because
Wow.
sometimes it's kind of like,
Is it true?
no, it's not. So it gets to the point where it's kind of it just doesn't make sense. Like, to me, to be quite honest, I'm just saying other people might do this, but let's just say that you have this shop that wants to be an a-hole. You know, you fix up something and they mess up something else. I don't know. There's a bunch of bad people out there, man. I try my best to do the best I can when it comes down to that, but and that's why, man. Whenever a customer comes to my shop, I always tell them, hey, man, check out my videos, check out my reviews. Because some of them they come into my shop because they got screwed over somewhere else, and I get this too as well. Like, I have had customers that said, "Hey, I went to, XYZ, and he charged me $1,000. Can you give me a better price? Can you not charge the diagnosing, or can you not do this?"
Can you give them a better price?
No, I stick to my prices. I'm sorry, man. The thing is, I do take my job serious. That's one thing I do. I take it so serious, man. My rate is 125 an hour for diagnosing. Most domestic vehicles I can get it diagnosed about an hour and a half. So that's my rate. But whenever I diagnose a vehicle, I make sure that we're gonna change out the proper part. We're not gonna make a guesstimate. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, we think it's gonna be this, or we think it's gonna be that." No, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna figure out what's gonna be the problem. But the thing is that you gotta charge for that, man. You gotta charge for your knowledge, man. I go to a lot of training events, and I put a lot of money into my craft. And I do spend a lot of money for the different scan tools and different equipment, and for that, I want to charge appropriately. That's my end.
No,
And
I agree with you. You know what I mean? Get it right the first time. You know what I mean? So you don't have to keep on going back and be like, hey, this didn't fix the issue. You know what I mean? What the hell is going on? You get what you paid for. Just remember that. You got to find a place that you trust, and when you trust that place, in order to trust that place, you first have to build that relationship. You know what I mean? To me, there's customers that have my personal phone number, and they can text me, and I respond back. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a very personable person. Like, I love what I do, and I take it very seriously. They have my phone number, and they can contact me honestly any time of the day. If I'm at home, 9 o'clock at night, boom, they text me, hey, I'm having issues. Can I drop my car off tomorrow morning? Sure, you can. Da-da-da-da. Where you going to leave the key at? Or you know what? Why don't you just leave it with my neighbor next door? That's exactly what I do. I don't mind my customers texting me, calling me. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me at all. And I enjoy it. But to the customer that go to like a parts store, O'Reilly, and get their coat pulled, and the one thing that I do hate, I don't like, and it irritates me, is when customer calls in and ask, hey, how much to replace this? How much for a tune-up? That's the one thing I get the most. How much for a tune-up?
but when they ask me that, it's just funny because whenever a customer asks me, "Hey, how much for a tune-up?" and then that's when I get to the question is, why are you asking for a tune-up? What's the reasoning to go to straight to a tune-up? And oh, I have a misfire. Oh, my vehicle doesn't have that power, and this and that. The thing is the tune-up gonna fix it up? That's the question.
Exactly.
To me, I don't like just going straight to the tune-up because the thing is, let's say that doesn't fix up the issue. The customer already spent X amount of money, and like on Eric's channel, what happens if it's that 5.4 liter Ford? What happens if we have to do a tune-up on that, and you're spending $500-600, and that's not the problem? That's why I like doing the diagnosing. I want to verify exactly what's going on. And guess what? If I do the diagnosing, we do the tune-up, hey, man, at least we got it. But the thing is, it's going to cost you additional $125 for that compared to, let's just say we're going to do the tune-up, and it costs you $500-600, and it doesn't fix you up. Let's say that we do that, and it's just a wire that's messed up or something that's going on. Then you're just paying that $125 for the diagnosing. So you gotta look at it that kind of way, man. But it's just kind of hard because most of the clients that we have, they have that perception that automotive is really easy because back in the day, that's what it was. Back in the day when they repaired the cars, it was like just get your tune up, change out your spark plugs, fuel filter, this and that, blah blah blah.
Do you believe cars were built better back then than is nowadays?
Honestly, God, I love how the cars are built now. That's my personal opinion. That's me because.
Do you guys think cars are better now than it is back then?
Well, some cars they would last a good amount of time. They did last a good amount of time, but now you have better gas mileage. This is now.
No, I agree.
And so on. But this gets me to that other point, and this is what I want to talk about as well. I want to talk about, I get this a lot when a customer calls me and then said, hey, like we had this one guy saying, hey, we have a certain code, we went to AutoZone and I have P0171, I need you to change out a mass airflow sensor. And they say, well, we already got it diagnosed. That's not a diagnosing. That you're not diagnosing that, okay? When you get a code right there, that's not. To me, this is what a teacher brought it up, nice and clear, and I always tell this to all my clients right here. Whenever you get a code, it's basically saying, "Hey, I live in Texas." Just let's think about it like this. So when you have a code that P0171, it's just kind of telling you the direction that you're going to. So it's kind of like I'm saying, "Hey, I live in Texas," but where in Texas? Okay, I understand you live in Texas. Now we have to go a little bit further. We gotta dissect it a little bit more. Okay, we're in Texas. Okay, I live in Houston. So that's where you start diagnosing. So like P0171. So you start diagnosing. You start looking. Okay, it might be air induction or it might be a fuel issue. So we start going into further and further. So that's how I bring it to my customers. Hey. That code is just saying, I live in Texas. Now we got to verify what part of Texas. Okay, I live in Houston. Okay, but what part of Houston? That's still a big old section. And then you start going in even further. Okay, well, I live on area code, X, Y, and Z. Okay, but where in that area? And then you start going further and further in till you finally figure out the issue. That's how diagnosing is started, man. It's not by looking at a code. Anyone can look at a code. Teach a chimp how to look at a code. Anyone can do it, but that doesn't make you an actual technician or whatever. That when you really go, into it, that's when you start figuring out what the problem is. So whenever I get customers that call me and they tell me that. Someone probably never thought I live in Texas when I saw P0171. No, but when people call me, I give them that little chat that my teacher gave me, and it opens up their eyes a little bit more. Okay, well, all right, I'm okay with paying the $125 an hour, and it's okay. I understand that now. It opens up their eyes a little bit more because you know what. Cars are complex, man.
People are complex, man.
They are complex. When you're a mechanic, especially when you're a technician and you are the service writer.
Yeah, because you got to break it down to them to their level. You know what I mean? It's like, where you're at. If the way sometimes a technician explain it to a customer, they might not understand it. So the analogy you gave them is what you have to bring it down to. You know what I mean? And sometimes technician can't do that, or some service advisor aren't educated enough to break it down to that level,
But for me, it's because I own my own business. So for my shop, I am the technician, I am the service writer, I am the janitor, I am this and that. So I have to, as a technician, I have to go explain to the customer what's going on. I take pictures and I let them, I show them everything. But yeah, it gets kind of tricky, man. So when it gets to that kind of point, anytime they come by and they say, "Hey, I just got my, I got it diagnosed," I'll say, "I'm sorry, I just can't do that." And I will give you one story right here. So a customer did bring his well, one time he saw me at AutoZone, and
What were you doing at AutoZone?
I was picking up a part.
What
So
kind of part?
I don't do electrical parts. So anything that's electrical is always going to be Excel Auto Parts because they do all dealer parts. But if it's kind of like if I get brake fluid or this and that, and sometimes they do have OE parts boxed in Duralast. It's kind of crazy too. But when he was there, he had an issue with his starter. So they're asking, hey, he asked the people there at AutoZone, hey, do you know a mechanic that can change out the starter? They pointed at me, and I told them, hey, well, the thing is that I do my own parts. Well, he's like, I have this under warranty. Do you mind just changing it out? I know it's it. So I did it, changed out the starter, and he was really happy with me. And, I charged him when I needed to charge him, and he was excited, and it fixed up the vehicle. A month later, he calls me and he's like, "Hey Oz, I loved what you did. Now I just want you to change out this other part." I took the vehicle to AutoZone. They checked the check engine light, and I already know what it is. And I was like, "All right, cool. 125 an hour to check it out." And he got mad. He basically said, "How can you do this? I already know what the issue is. The problem is XYZ. It is going to be the cam sensor." And he was telling me that's what it is. It cranks and won't start. And I told him, "I'm sorry, but I need to check it out." And he kept on being persistent. "Look, I only have limited money and and so on. Can you just please change it out?" And I just told him this. I wasn't gonna drop down to that level because I start doing that, then other customers are gonna think, hey, well, Oz is gonna take that step back. He might give me that free diagnosing or whatever. So I just told him, I said, look, there's a shop down across the street, and they would gladly take you. They will change out your part, whatever you need. Just take it down to them. So, I gave him the numbers, this and that. And then I passed by that shop because I program computers for them, and I saw that vehicle there. And I do have a video on YouTube that's going to be coming out on that one too, so y'all can see that. But I went over there and I talked to the mechanic, and I said, "Hey, so you got it done?" And he said, "No, I can't figure it out." So end of the day, he ended up changing the spark plugs. He changed out the spark plugs and so on. And the customer calls me 2 days later, and he's like, "Oz, you're right. I took it over there. We changed out the cam sensor, the spark plugs, and guess what? It's still doing the same thing." And I told him, "All right, are you ready for me to charge you the 125?" He agreed on that, brought it over, and what it ended up being is that the coolant sensor was actually reading way too low, and it was overfueling the system, and that's what was causing the no start condition.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He actually had to go through that headache of taking it somewhere else and kind of realize that, hey, this is just not as black and white. He has to get to the point where he's actually realizing, hey man, this has to take a little bit more diagnosing to figure out what the issue is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, sometimes people don't understand, man. Customers don't understand that, you spend so much time and investment, and your brain and your knowledge is worth something, right?
Yeah.
That's why these engineers get paid so much money, doing what they're doing. But I want to take. Let me see. It says, "Do you guys work?" Yeah, we work on German cars. I love German cars. I love BMW. I love Mercedes. I don't like Audi or Volkswagen. Okay. and I work on BMWs all the time. Those are one of my favorite cars to work on.
So I kind of want to bring my father-in-law in this conversation right here because
Cause he's sleeping.
yeah, he's sleeping on the background. So I want
Would you like to pull up a seat?
yeah, I want to ask him a question right now if he can.
Actually, no. He can sit right here. Come on.
Yeah, if he wants to, because
Come on.
I do want to.
He's over there snoring.
I don't want him to be biased right now because I know he's my father-in-law and so on. But I do want to ask him that question, man. Like, you know, back in the day, let's just say back in the day when you're in Cali, and you knew what the issue was, what would you do when you went over there? If you said, "Hey, I already know what it is, and I got it so-called diagnosed at a parts store," how would you take that? Like, if someone told you, "No, I need to charge you for that," what would be your response as a non-automotive or shop owner?
No, I didn't do it like that. For me, it was, back in the day, it wasn't as much electronics and computers involved with these cars that they are now. So, I mean, I would do a lot of stuff myself, like I was mentioning on the other channel. I would diagnose or ask around, talk to different mechanics. If it's something I thought I can pull off, then I would try it myself. I've redone starters and carburetors back in the day, fuel pumps, do my own, change out my spark plugs and distributor caps and all that stuff, But nowadays it's a lot more technical. If I do go to AutoZone or O'Reilly, I don't rely on that. That's just a research tool for me. And I just say, okay, they're saying it's this code and this might be this or that. So I can arm myself if I'm going to a mechanic if I don't have a trusted mechanic already, then I can use that as research for, trying to see what the mechanic would tell me.
Yeah, but at the same time, these big corporations like AutoZone, O'Reilly, Advanced Auto Parts, they got tons and tons of marketing tools. They can market towards the average Joe that don't know anything about cars. Hey, bring it into us. We'll check your battery out for free. Even replace your wiper blades. We'll pull the code out and let you know what's wrong with it. I mean, it's just that marketing tool, you know what I mean?
But they're salesmen. They're salesmen, dude. That's what they're doing. What AutoZone, O'Reilly's, and so on. What they're doing, they're trying to sell parts.
But
that's what you gotta
but those
realize.
parts store person that I think they're getting a percentage on parts sold. They're always trying to push that.
That's just why you go to like Firestone or NTSB, and you go there for one thing, and then they're gonna upsell you.
Exactly.
Oh, hey,
It's always upselling, even in the restaurant business. Hey, let me get a burger. Can you add lettuce? Would you like to add a drink with that? Would you like to,
appetizers,
would you like
dessert.
to upsize that to a large drink or upsize it to a large fries instead of, a medium fry for just 50 cents more? They get a commission on that, you know what I mean? It's always upselling. The more you upsell, the more money you make. And I can't hate America for that. That's just America itself.
Well, for AutoZone, I don't know if they make commission off of there, especially like the parts guys.
Hey, if you guys work at AutoZone or O'Reilly, let us know.
Your son works
Is that
at
true?
AutoZone. I don't think he makes commission off of that. And I used to work at AutoZone. I don't remember making commission off of that either.
You're making hourly wages.
Yeah, you're making hourly wages, but the thing is, and this is how I felt when I was back then in AutoZone and I didn't know too much about automotive. You felt kind of special knowing that they,
You think you know what you're doing?
They trusted you in a sense, man. Like they come up to you and what do you think? And then you look at, so when back then at AutoZone, you would hook up your scan tool and then they'll give you they'll give you some options on what it can be. And like I said, if you get it right, you're the superhero.
It's like a
there.
test.
Yeah,
you take
it puts you in a better position. I mean, if you're the one that you can go to and get diagnosed, some simple diagnostics, and you upsell parts, and you're trying to make it into management, that may make you look better, but in the end, you're just, you're not a mechanic.
You're not.
Just plugging in a scan tool that has some limited information. Some codes that you can go and plug into the computer and sell some parts with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some scan tools they have like they'll have a button on there. You'll have the code and it says they'll have like a button and it'll tell you like the known parts. And this goes by even professional techs, man. They'll have that silver bullet. That's what we call it, the silver bullet. That you'll go on Google, you'll go on YouTube, or you'll go Identifix or Pro Demand or whatever, and you'll look up the code, and it tells you, you know, which are the parts that that damage the most, or you know, what's something that most mechanics have repaired, and that's the silver bullet approach. But does that work most of the time? Could or could not. But like I said, you want to make sure that you're getting it right the first time. And then S Dub was asking the question right there. What would you do if you simply don't know which what's the issue on the diagnosing? Like
You duct tape it.
no. So look, man, this is one of the things. Like anytime I work, I think Eric said it best when he made a video, and we were talking about this before he made the video. Whenever you go to a shop and they say they can do everything and they know everything, they're BSing you.
They
man.
are. They are.
You gotta understand.
They're just trying to get you in the door.
Yeah,
That's it.
they're trying to fish you in, man. So whenever I tell my customers, hey, you know, they give me an issue, what I do first, I research first. And so I sit down, I get on Pro Demand, and I start researching a little bit. But one of my teachers that I truly adore is Brandon Steckler. He brought up something which he learned from another teacher, and basically what he was saying is that all vehicles, they're about 85% similar. Everything, they're about 85% similar. That 15% difference, that's from every manufacturer. So you got BMW, you got Ford and all that 15% difference. So for me, whenever I look at the car, I just want to verify that I have the proper service information and the proper scan tool and the proper knowledge on that vehicle. And then after that, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to verify what issue we have. But any car that comes in, you know, that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start looking at service information. I'm gonna start seeing what kind of system we have, and I'm gonna look for that 15% difference.
That's what you learn in. I've learned that in school when I was I went to Lone Star Community College, and that's some of the stuff that actually they teach you, and that's a test. You know what I mean? The steps you take. You know what I mean? Where you need to check first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just, you know, you don't want to take guess. Just go through the proper research, the proper steps.
Well, Chrissy was asking right here, do you charge them if you can't fix up the issue or diagnose it? The thing is, whenever I go into a vehicle, if I know, hands down, I don't have the proper service information or the proper scan tool, or just if I just don't feel comfortable, I'm not gonna take the job. Like example, a customer, she called me, and she had a 2002 Sprinter. And before she brought it over, she's like, "Do you work on Sprinters?" And I said, "Look, if it's a Mercedes or Dodge, I'll work on that sucker. Bring it by, and I'll check it out." I let her know whenever you know she gave me a call. As soon as the vehicle showed up to my shop,
Did you make a video with that?
No, it's a Freightliner.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a Freightliner. So my scan tool is not capable to get into that. Pro Demand doesn't have the information for Freightliner. So guess what? At that point, I told her how much I was going to charge if it was one of those other lines, like if it was a Mercedes or Dodge. But because it wasn't that, I just called her and I said, "Hey, you know what? I can't do this," and I wasn't going to go any further on that. But any other vehicle, I've been in this business for so long that I like the challenge. To me, it is fun to work on those vehicles. If I find it exciting. Every day I wake up, I'm happy to go to work because I know there's going to be that extra challenge up there, and it's not going to be that same thing over and over and over again. It's not going to be that same oil change that I'm going to be knocking out every day. It's going to be a different challenge, and it's going to be fun. And man, the fun thing is when we went to the automotive training Vision, most of the techs there and the teachers all there, I told them, hey, I have a video that's gonna be coming out, and it's gonna be a car that basically it ran 10 minutes. It literally ran 10 minutes without the fuel lines, a fuel pump fuse or fuel pump relay on there. There's nothing that was feeding it fuel was literally hooked up to the engine, and it ran for 10 minutes. Turned off the vehicle, turned it back on, and it was still running. I'm gonna put that sucker out there. Let that kind of simmer in your head. Try to think what would keep it running. I told some of my
Start over again. I'm sorry.
So basically, this vehicle, it was running without any fuel lines connected to it. And I can tell you this: there's no, I didn't have nothing else connected. Like I didn't have a line that was connected from the.
How long was it running for?
It ran for 10 minutes straight, dude. Huh? Dude, it was really funny.
Emily Rose.
Dude, I called some of my teachers, and I would talk to them, and they could not get it. They're like, oh, it's in your crankcase. And I was like, no, I actually, took the oil out, put brand new oil. Well, it has to be in something else. It has to be in your.
So it was, okay. What kind of vehicle is it?
It was a 2000 Camaro 3.8.
2000 Camaro 3.8. The fuel line was not hooked up at all.
Yeah, the fuel line was off. The purge.
Like it was completely disconnected.
Yeah.
Ran for 10 minutes.
Ran for 10 minutes. I took it. So
Was it running bad?
I will tell. It was idling. It was just idling. So what I was doing when I was checking out my test. So I'm gonna tell you how I got to that point, and then that's it. Because I need y'all to watch the video because it's really interesting. I don't want to get too.
Hold on. Let's see if we can have anybody take a guess of what it is.
Y'all can make guess.
Please.
I'm gonna tell you.
Don't tell them yet.
No,
please.
I'm not gonna tell you. I want y'all to watch the video, but on this vehicle
But
right
if somebody watched it, is it out yet?
No, it's not out
Okay,
yet.
good.
Yeah, so
Please, guys,
this
chime in.
This vehicle.
What do you
right
think it
here,
is?
It was it had a lot of issues, man. It had a lot of issues, but where I got to that point right there, I literally was doing a test on the injectors, and I wanted to check injection pulse, and I just had some noise lights on there, so the whole time it wouldn't start. Like I would crank, and it wouldn't start. So at that point, I put the noise light on the injector wire, and then I removed the fuel pump fuse. It's just something that I'm used to. So I removed the fuel pump fuse, and then the vehicle started.
Running off purge.
No, the purge is disconnected too.
Disconnected.
Yeah, purge is disconnected, just to let y'all know. So it turned on, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And I have the fuel pressure gauge on there. And when I was trying to crank, it was the purge. It's not the purge. When I was doing crank, the fuel pressure was at 60 psi. When I disconnected it, it went down to 0, and the vehicle was still running, man.
Remember, we're not.
Think
about it.
And that's the funny thing, man. The vehicle was still running, and then I was just kind of thinking, I was like, is there a chance that whenever the vehicle is running, is pulling fuel from the gas tank? So let me just, I was just trying to think, and I was like, let me take off the fuel lines, and let me see, like, if we have the fuel lines off, should turn off. So I took the fuel lines off, and it still stayed running. And the thing is, my dad was at the shop, and like I said, no, it's not oil vapors because I did change out the oil. So
Can we give them a prize? Whoever get it right.
Huh? So well, let me get to it. So at that point, it was running, and then I ran. The other shop called me. He's like, "Hey, I need you to come over here and check something out." So I ran over there to the shop. Came back 10 minutes later. The car was still on. So I told my dad, turn it off, turn it back on. Car turns on. That's all I can say. I don't want to get too into it, but it's gonna be a fun. It's gonna be a two-parter, man. It's gonna be real fun. I think a lot of people from the training event at Vision, it had their scratching
Can we give
their
it to
heads.
somebody who gets it right? Can we do some challenge? If
No.
you get it right, he will eat that hot sauce.
Well, that's the thing, man. I got to the point where even these master techs and teachers that taught over there, they had a hard time trying to figure it out. And there's one that he even made a post on Facebook, and he's like, I just need Oz to tell me what's wrong. And I said, no, you got to tune into the video, and then we're gonna get to that thing. And another source that they were thinking about, they're saying, hey, it might be in the can't even think right now. The brake booster. They're saying it has to be in the brake booster. I was like, hey, it might be there. And then I lifted up the vehicle, and I was trying to see if there was any external lines going from the gas tank going to the engine, and nothing, man. And it was a crazy thing. But I'll tell you this: once I found the issue, man, I felt like $1 million because.
How long did it take you?
I think it took me 2 days.
2 days, and how many hours invested?
It took me a lot of hours.
So what's the diagnostic fee?
And that's the reason, because back in the day, my charge would be 125 flat rate.
Doesn't matter how long it takes.
Yeah, that was my flat rate. 125 flat rate, and I got to the point where I was like, no, I can't do that because I got these vehicles right here that literally I was the 5th mechanic shop that had the vehicle, and on that video, I'm literally gonna be showing like the issues that were caused.
Hey, I'm new to this. What does that 999 mean?
That's just it's just when people, if they like the content, there's a super chat. So if they love what they're doing,
Who is this Lynn Penn?
That's my lovely wife right there.
Lynn Penn, can I get 99 cents of that $9?
and I'm gonna let y'all know one thing. So I'm gonna be a father.
Hey, she's about to pop
yeah,
any minute.
She's
any
about to
minute.
pop. My lovely wife right there. She's about to pop any minute. She's actually due Monday.
So simple. Spark plug points.
No, not at all. Well, that wouldn't even.
Cabin rotor cables, and you got power.
No, that wouldn't do it. But yeah, we're expecting on Monday, so we're gonna see what goes on. I'm gonna be.
So if they want to find out what caused it to keep on running, they have to plug into your channel, right?
They have to go into
When is that video dropping?
I'm not sure because I don't know how it's gonna happen once my baby shows up, man.
But is it the video's finished?
The video is recorded.
Or you still editing it?
No, I'm not gonna start editing until maybe a week or two. But remember, this is a 2-parter.
Guys, he's gonna be a father in a couple days.
And I just want to say something.
Go.
I'm going to be a grandfather.
He's gonna be a grandfather, and I want you to look at it. That's a sexy grandfather right there. Look at all that white hair.
No, but
Question is, are you gonna buy my bike?
no, but that's gonna be man. And the thing is, the last year I didn't invest a lot of time. I wish I could go to STX, man. Trust me, I wish I could go to XTX, man.
What about Texas 2K?
Yeah, but I that's not gonna happen because by that time, the baby's gonna be here, and my wife misses everyone from Vision too. Man, she really wanted to go, but she wanted that baby to be born in Texas, so I can't blame her. She wanted that Texas baby. But yeah, the video that's gonna be coming out is gonna be a 2-parter, and like I said last year, I didn't produce that many videos. I think out of that year, I did 20 videos.
Damn.
And as of this year, I already have about 10 videos filmed. Yeah, so I have 10 videos filmed. So it's gonna be I'm gonna be pushing a lot of good content out there, and so on.
Let's talk about this, okay? We talked it on Eric's channel. Let's talk about it on your channel.
Go ahead.
About how let them know about what's going on in your life, about your business and stuff like that, about what happened. Tell them, Mr. Famous Guy who's been on ABC 13, KHOU. He's been on every news outlet,
So-
and he'll tell you why.
Yeah,
And published in many.
Oh boy,
aspects.
I was actually on Forbes, man. That was
he was
really-
on Forbes magazine.
Forbes magazine.
For the sexiest man alive.
Okay, sexist
Mechanic.
YouTube mechanic alive. All right, I'll give you that. Nah, so the thing is, I finally made the leap of faith, and Dude, I love business. I'm never gonna get to this man's level, but
Don't
you know,
ever say
don't say
that.
that.
Don't
Oh no!
ever say
Okay,
that.
never. Okay, I'm
Don't
never
ever
gonna say
say
never,
that.
but you know,
Don't let them fool
yeah,
you. I'm not on no level
yeah,
at whatsoever.
Yeah,
Not
I
whatsoever.
still admire this guy right here because the way he's doing stuff.
No.
But
I still remember when you got hit. We went to go chase that dude down.
Oh, my
I was
God.
like, "Yo, you got." Did you ever tell him a story?
I'll tell him after this
Okay,
one.
go ahead.
So the thing is, I've been renting at my at these two previous locations.
Name the kid after him. Damn
That's
it,
tough.
name the
Hey,
kid.
thank
Done.
you, thank you for
Done.
the money, man. But the thing is, I've been renting my location for. I was at one location. It was a business center, 2 parking spots, and then that's where I kind of learned, you know, the grittiness of owning a business. And then finally, I moved into an actual automotive shop, and that's where I'm at right now. Uh, and then from there, I just wanted something else, man. I kind of wanted to build something. You gotta understand, as a business owner, we don't have this retirement. We have to kind of produce it ourselves. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to build equity, and to build that is by, you know, having your own business. So I wanted to buy my own shop, and you know, I was just at the right place at the right time, and I found the location that I bought recently. The thing is that when I went to go get my application with the city, they denied the application, and the 2 previous locations, they didn't give me any problems. Anytime that I went from the business center to open up the automotive shop, they just asked for, hey, we just need you to have your exit lights. We want to make sure that you have anything to put your oil, and then epoxy your floors. So, you know, I was good with that. When I found this location, it was previously a machine shop, so it had the 2-bay garage, had an office area, this and that. I was happy with that, but the city, they actually denied it. They wanted me to put 28 parking spots. So from there, you know, we've been fighting with the city back and forth, and finally we went to court, and they granted me a temporary injunction. What that basically means is that for the meanwhile, we don't have to put the 28 parking spots, and we can start, you know, building on there. The only issue with the temporary injunction is that if something happens, like let's say I go ahead and invest all my life savings into this building, which I want to make it the best building I can, and let's say a year and a half down the line goes down, and then the court rules, hey, the city wins, I lose my business. You know, what I invested into is going to be gone. So that's the scary part right now that we're dealing with.
How much did you invest?
Right now, I haven't really invested nothing because we're still going through the courts. But it's going to be a lot of stuff, man. That building's from the 1950s. The thing is that
No, well, you bought the building, correct? The property.
yeah, I bought the property. It was about $100,000 on that one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so we have that, but it's like I said, it's a pretty old building, and it needs a lot of work on it. But I want to put the city of Pasadena on the map, and I want to put Oz Mechanics on the map. So
There you go.
I'm taking this serious, man.
Man, I love how you never gave that fight up. You know what I mean? There's times where, you know, you're like, man, this is way too much. I know you were stressing because, you know, I can definitely relate to what you're saying because I've been through a similar situation with what he's going through, but not so much automotive. I had a similar situation in our city here, in Conroe, and it was with food truck. Our food truck was only allowed to operate for 2 hours only at a set location. So if you're at 123 So Street, you're only able to operate for 2 hours. Then you have to move to another address. You cannot return to the address in 24 hours. And we're thinking to ourselves, like, you know, how are we able to make a living just operating in 2 hours? So what I'm getting at is that if you love what you do, continue to fight for what you believe in, and you will definitely get it. Because I can tell you that we never gave up the fight. We continue to fight for changing the city ordinance, and we changed the city ordinance from 2 hours to 6 hours. And I remember when I was telling Oz that, I was like, dude, Oz, if I can do it, you can do it. Don't give up the fight. Keep on going to the city, talk to them, argue with them, get your support. Man, he got ABC 13, Fox News, Forbes magazine, everywhere. He was all over the place, and that right there create awareness, because you can't let the city, big government, look down upon like small businesses, people like us. You know what I mean? We're the one that put them in office. They gotta fight for us. This is his livelihood, and I don't understand what make them want 28 parking spot at a 2-bay garage. It just don't make any sense. And for 2 hours to operate a food truck for 2 hours, you can't make a living in 2 hours. There's no way.
Yeah, it's just and it's kind of crazy because some of the I'm gonna let y'all know it's not the charcoal canister. Just to let y'all know, it's not the charcoal canister, because remember, the purge was disconnected. That's not it. But most of the council members, mayors, or this and that, most of them they're not business owners. They're
not. They don't, and they can't relate.
They can't relate, and it kind of stinks, man. But luckily, right now we moved 1 foot forward, man, and we're working towards, hopefully in about a year opening up our new location in Oz Mechanics. And man,
Pasadena, Texas is South Houston.
Yeah, it's Pasadena, Texas. South Houston of Houston. So
yeah, South Houston. So Houston is huge. Pasadena is just a city outside of Houston, and just like Conroe, we're considered North Houston, north of Houston. We're north of Houston, so he's south of Houston. So from my place to his place is a good an hour 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Hour 20 minute.
But yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff right here, man. We can have more conversations, because and that's what I wanted to talk about, and maybe we'll do another installment, because if we have Eric here as well, we want to talk about something else. Like
suspense is killing.
Yeah,
me.
it's good. Trust me.
Keep on coming.
Yeah, keep on, man. Trust me. When you watch the next
fuel
video,
lines disconnected, purge. What?
Yeah.
Disconnected?
Yeah,
What?
everything's new oil and all that. But the next chat I really want to have is
It's the devil.
we're gonna, like, Eric.
This guy was gonna open it up drinking like a beer.
Eric, he went from working as an apprentice, being at the dealership, owning his own shop, to now doing mobile mechanic and YouTubing. I'm a shop owner, one man shop, plus I have part-time YouTubing. I'm not full-time. Yeah. And then we have Son right here, which he has his own shop, has a food truck, 2 food trucks, and has a brick and mortar. And I kind of want to talk about that right there. Now, next installment, we're gonna get into that, and we're gonna talk about the pros and cons about the different businesses and how we run them. Because we did talk about that conversation, and Eric brought it up, that as a one-man shop, when I'm not at the shop, I'm technically losing money. I'm losing money on my rent, the electricity, and all that kind of stuff. Anytime I'm outside the shop, I'm not generating any money right here. And I want to talk about how he takes it, how Eric takes it whenever they don't have that. He has employees. I don't. Eric has a mobile shop, mobile diagnosing. So I want to get into that and see what y'all think, if anyone else has been through that as well. Have y'all started from one end and moved to another venture, and how does it feel, and how y'all going through it? But yeah, everyone's stumped. I understand.
I know. Damn.
Yeah,
everybody is like, what the hell is it?
House call auto repair, man. I'm
telling you, it's possessed. It's the devil.
No, I'm telling you, man. It, like, once you watch the video, once you watch this video, man, and
You're gonna see why a good technician will spend the time to figure out the issue instead of just throwing parts on there. This would separate him and great mechanic, great technician from your regular part thrower, and that's the reason why they deserve to get paid what they get paid. You know what I mean? Pay for his time and knowledge because you're not gonna find it anywhere else. It's hard to find people like him and Eric.
I know you're expecting, but if you're with your kid, don't look at it as losing money. No, man.
Hey, donation, please.
Chris Martino, hey, you missed out, dude. We're about to end, dude.
Hey, Chris Martino
No,
missed out. You missed out.
No, hey,
Twerking.
man. That's one of my buddies right there, Chris Martino. Love you, dude. You know, that's a good buddy from our training events. Kirk Kennedy, he's actually here in Texas too.
Big shout out to Texas.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah,
He's about to have a baby boy.
Yeah, but
What's his name?
So his name is basically my name. So if y'all don't know, my name is Asael Sepulveda. So
That's hard as hell.
yeah,
to say,
it's
dude.
really hard. So my kid's name is gonna be, if anyone before I even bring this up, if anyone watches Cobra Kai, if y'all know Miguel, his actual name is Solo. It's XOLO, and we love Cobra Kai. So, you know that,
Solo.
Yeah, so his middle name is gonna be Solo. So it's gonna be Asael Solo Sepulveda. I know it's a tongue twister, but
So can we call him Solo?
Tomball baby, yeah.
Can we call him Solo?
Yeah, y'all can call him Solo. Y'all can
That's
call
good.
him.
That's
y'all can
badass.
call him Ozzy. Y'all can call him Oz Jr. Y'all can call him whatever you want.
Big
But-
shout out to Kurt Tomball.
But going back to
If you're in Tomball, come visit us, boy.
But-
Tasty Asian.
hey, Kurt. Let's have you on. Let's have you on the podcast, man. You know,
Who's Kurt?
he's another shop owner.
Come on by.
You know,
Kurt,
he has a big shop over there, man, in Tomball. So
my good friend is in Tomball.
we can do that. I want to have more shop owners here, more businesses. I want to, you know, I kind of, I just want to throw ideas out, man. See what y'all think and Han Solo.
I like that.
Yeah, Han Solo.
I like that a lot.
But in different parts of Mexico, when you say solo, it's actually Xolo.
Xolo.
Sholo.
Yeah. So that's another thing, man. But man, it's already getting kind of late. We're looking
It
at
is.
11:10, and I'm pretty sure Dick back there.
Evap system sucking into the no.
No, like I said, this is not. Look, I'm gonna before I'm just gonna bring it up one last time. Okay, the fuel lines are off. This vehicle was running without no fuel lines. Purge was out, and I changed the oil, and I blocked off the freaking brake booster because one of my teachers brought it up. He's like, that might be a reservoir, so it might be getting fuel from there. So I blocked all that off. So we're not getting anything from the charcoal canister, nothing like that. And as well, like I said, I verified that we don't have any aftermarket, like, what's it called? Aftermarket lines like NOS or anything like that. There's nothing like that, okay? So
What kind of vehicle was it again?
is a
2000 Camaro.
2000 3.8 Camaro, and like I'm telling you, it ran
Ham
without
cholo.
yeah, it ran without any fuel lines. It's crazy, man. I just want you to keep that. If you think it's something, no, the fuel pressure regulator, it was changed out, brand new fuel pressure regulator. Okay, just to let you know, that wasn't it. But yeah, if
When will the video be dropping?
I'm not sure yet.
Gonna keep him in suspense.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep everyone in suspense, man, because I am gonna be dropping like I said, this is gonna be a 2-part video. So the first part, it's gonna be a cool one because initially when the car came to my shop, they dropped it off because it was just not getting any communication, just to the cluster. Nothing was working, and that's actually a really awesome video. So that's gonna be
Just wait for it. Before we end, dude, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about customers review. Customers review, they leave you Google review or Facebook review on your business page. Even though you have a lot of positive review and you get 1 or 2 bad review, and you know you're an honest person, you're an honest shop, and you get this one bad apple that leave you a bad review, what do? How would you respond?
Actually, sorry for the burp. Actually, I took a business class, and I remember I remember, what was it? One of the teachers there told me. He said, "Hey, so the thing about reviews, you want to make sure that you have, you don't want it to look too perfect, you know." So it finally hit me like, holy smokes, you want to look human.
Yes, subscribe.
You want to look human. So, we're not completely perfect, man.
Like a robot.
Yeah, we're not completely perfect. So you kind of want to have those bad reviews to know that they don't look all manufactured. And that bad review that one person gave me, he got mad at me because I didn't have time for him. I'm a one-man shop. I'm sorry. If you bring your car in, I'm not going to look at it right there and then. We have to go by appointments only. So at that point, I just couldn't do that, man. So,
So that's not even a bad review. It's just like a person that doesn't have any common sense.
yeah, so he told me at that moment, he literally put, Oz didn't have time for me. 1 star.
Damn.
And all I put on there was just like, hey, man. Well, I didn't put hey, man, but I did it professionally. But let's just I just put, hey, when you called, I'd let you know that we go by appointments only, this, and that. Sorry that you had a bad experience, blah, blah, blah. And that's pretty much it.
To me, I actually I have some bad reviews on my end. Hey, I invite you guys to go check it out on Google, Lake Conroe Automotive, and I enjoy bad review. You know what I mean? The reason why is because I have so much good reviews on my my Google page, and I enjoy interacting with a bad review because I know that the bad review come from a sour customer that didn't have a bad experience. It's just a crybaby that didn't get their way. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person where I am how I am, and you even though you're a customer, you're not always right. You're not gonna take advantage of me. If I don't have time for you, I don't have time for you. And the bottom line is this: if the books call an hour for an oil pressure switch to be switched out, and I can finish that in like 30 minutes, but I still charge you an hour, I'm still gonna charge you an hour. That's just, if I'm not doing it, I have to pay my technician that. It's all about experience, you know what I mean? You got to go through the stages. Takes me 30 minutes because I know I'm experienced enough, and I know my ways around it enough to where I can actually finish it less than an hour. The customer got mad at me because I finished it way sooner than I told him. I said, "Ma'am, I'm gonna charge you an hour to do it." Da 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 da, and she got upset. There's other stuff too, but just go ahead and read the review. I love bad reviews because I love interacting with my customers.
Well, the thing is that, and I learned something, and this is with everything, even on YouTube, you're not gonna please everyone.
You're not gonna please everyone.
And I'm sorry. Hey, Keith from New Level Auto. That's 99 cents for a coffee.
So that's so I get like a cent on 99.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah!
Hey, but Keith right there, man, he's a sharp.
It says, I don't have any business training. No business training. Everything is pretty much hands-on and life experience. I think that the best experience and training you can get is pretty much you have to go through it on your own. Find a good mentor. Find somebody that you can trust, and follow their footstep and shadow them. And that's just the way I look at it. That's the way that's the way I was trained. Whoever I admire and whoever I look up to, I would try to shadow them and try to mimic them, and follow their footstep, and go from there. But life experience is the best experience. Go through it. Don't be afraid of living it, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of making people, unhappy or them being disappointed. It's a part of life. You know what I mean? You just get through it, get over it.
But like I said, man, we have so much to talk about afterward.
Yeah.
Man, this is gonna. Hopefully, we can make it a bigger series right here. But we're gonna talk more about business And like I said, hopefully I can bring more technicians, more shop owners, and all that into to this podcast. And even if they're far away, you know, I want to bring them in, and we can add them in Zoom or so on, and we can have this conversation. Because, man, this makes it exciting talking to like-minded people and bouncing off ideas and talking to each other, man. This is really interesting and really fun. I'm not gonna lie, these 2 hours right here went really fast, man. To
Hey,
me.
hold on. Let's talk about your car, your Tacoma that got hit.
Oh, no.
That
No.
shit was fun, dude.
No, okay, so we're gonna end it off with this. You know, I finally got to buy my dream truck, bought a 2020 Tacoma, and man, I came up to Son's location. Like I said, he owns a food truck, and at that point, I wasn't drinking, so I was
He was not drinking.
Yeah, I was sober right there, and I came to help him out. He had an event at this location, and this drunk driver literally hits my
Not once.
twice.
Not twice. Like 3 times.
Yeah, but
dude.
he brand new freaking truck, dude. Like, honest to God, this is my dream truck, and he hits it twice, and then takes off, man. And it was
Like we were literally
Dude.
like we seen everything that happened. It was like we screamed out. It was like, "Hey!"
and dude, I literally almost cried. But the thing is, and you're saying 2020, like, man, I made it a thing. So the reason I bought this truck and is not, I paid off my house, and I was like, all right, now that I paid off my house, I wanted to buy something. So I ended up buying my truck, and it was just it hurt my heart that, you know, not even, I think it was like 2 months into it, and they hit my truck. So yeah, that's the story on my Tacoma, and it was
Boy, hey, no, it's not. We actually got into the truck and we followed that guy.
yeah, and luckily, like I said, I wasn't drinking that day, because imagine trying to call the cop and chasing this guy, you know, 80 miles, 90 miles on the freeway, and I'm drunk as hell as well. They would
Like, this mother is drunk.
They
Well,
would
you are too, sir.
they would have taken me as well. So yeah, that was kind of fun. But hey, man, let's see if we can. Oz not drinking. Yeah, I know. Chris, it was a time that I was just.
He was going through some stuff.
No, it's just my doctor.
It was going through menopause.
Yeah, my doctor. Menopause. I thought you were saying medical issues. My doctor said I was just, my cholesterol was high, my blood pressure was high, so he wanted me just to cut down on the beer, it's not like I'm an alcoholic. It's just, you know.
What else?
Yeah, he just wanted me to cut down on a lot of
What
stuff.
else?
That's it.
Cholesterol was high. What else? Your penis was shrinking and then suddenly it got
Yeah,
big.
Yeah, and
Bam!
that helped out a lot.
This helped him out a lot. This helped him out a lot right here.
That was funny.
This is help. No.
I don't know why we bought this. We were just at the gas station. We bought it. It was really funny. Oh god.
What you say? You not a?
Yeah, it was
I'm
just
disappointed.
It was just funny. We went to a gas station. We bought.
I'm disappointed.
We brought some drinks before
Unbelievable.
we came to the podcast, and he's a jokester like me.
No, I'm not. He
Both-
told me to buy. I was like, okay.
Both of us together, man, we joke way too much. If I can get him at a training event, y'all would love him. I'm trying to get him at Vision and all that. But like I said, he has so much right now going on. So, you know, I understand why he can't make it. But I'll see next time. Even if I can bring him to SEMA, that'll be kind of cool. But Keith, man, I miss you too, man. Hopefully we can see each other at some training events, and hopefully we can get you on one of our podcasts. That would be pretty cool. Are those my no pill? All right, but man,
Look out, Linda.
yeah,
That's
but-
right. That's right.
But man,
No more babies, he said.
Yeah, but it's getting kind of late, man.
He's
This-
taking that home with him tonight.
Hey, this video was sponsored by Peter Pan. Peter Pan. Peter Pan. I can't even think right now because I'm laughing way too much.
I'm not taking that home with me. You're taking it home.
Yeah,
With me.
so-
Well, actually, give it to Elliot.
Yeah, this video was sponsored by Peter Pan Crunchy.
And Magnum.
And
Trojan.
and Magnum extra small.
Magnum small.
Yeah, but nah, hey man, I really enjoyed y'all being with us and chilling with us and having this conversation. We're gonna try to go ahead and do another one pretty soon, and then hopefully as well, once I get my new shop, man,
Are you gonna do a meet and greet?
this is gonna be so awesome. Once I get my new shop,
You should do a meet and greet.
yeah, I want to do mini grid and all that, but I'm gonna make like a little podcast area there, so that's gonna be pretty cool, man. It's gonna be really nice. So we're gonna have little chats there, and hopefully we can get this going a little bit more. And that's pretty much what I have. Son, do you have anything else to say? Elliot, do you have anything else to say?
I thank everyone that's listening and watching, all his audience for welcoming me in. Appreciate you guys, each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations again, Mr. New Father.
Well, this didn't
Sexiest
help
man
out.
alive over there, and the man with the best mullet in the world back there, our producer. Thank you guys once again.
All right. So Elliot, anything?
No.
He looks tired.
I'm just a one man audience over here before a live studio audience, and that's me.
All right, cool. And then I'm gonna end it off like I end up all my videos. I couldn't do it as good as Eric. His was pretty badass, So my thing is just gonna be like, so if you do like this video, don't forget to put a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell to get our brand new videos coming out from Oz Mechanics. Y'all take care. Y'all have a nice day. Goodbye.